Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your host, Andre C. This week, I do not have the Melball, as she is taking a little bit of time off, and she'll be back very, very soon. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am here today to talk about altogether again the New Japan Pro Wrestling NOAH, and All Japan Pro Wrestling co-promoted event. This is a very, very good show. Good to see some talent I'm not regularly watching in the Japanese scene take on some of the people I regularly do watch. So actually a really, really fun show that I'm going to get into. But before we do that, I want to thank all of you for joining me here on NJPW Puroresu Review. If you can please give us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and please comment down below because we love hearing from you. So please, I would really appreciate all of that. So thank you very much. And also hit the notification bell. That you can be alerted every time we drop a new video here on Melball Wrestling Talk, or if you're watching us on Backbreaker video, hit the notification bell there too, so you can find out any new content comes down there on Backbreaker video. So we are going to get into this, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking all together again. This was that happened last week. Very, very good show. Absolutely phenomenal contest on June 9th between all these great companies, and kicked off with a pre-show match. It is Black Menso Ray, Ryo Inoue, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Yo taking on Alejandro, Atsushi Kotoge, Seki Yoshioka, and Super Crazy. Super Crazy is probably the name fans know most here, unless you follow us because of the New Japan. For any guys outside of Yo and Taguchi, Super Crazy is the guy you're going to know because he is an ECW legend, well known in the North American scene and in the Mexican scene. Chris says Super Crazy hasn't aged a day since ECW, and Kevin Kelly says, yeah, he's always looked 50, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I laughed so hard at that. Really fun opener. It's just basic fun little. There's some comedy here with Black Menso Ray has like food on the top of his gimmick, and he's doing the Cobra thing. Messing with people. Yoshioka and Inoue end up trading some solid kicks to the chest of each other, and Yoshioka hits like a beautiful rocket kick, but Inoue gets a snapmare right afterwards and hits a hard PK, really good. Yo ends up coming in the ring at one point and doing the Cobra thing in response to Menso Ray's Cobra, and just messing with his opponents, and they all sell it. They'll fall off the apron really selling it, except for Super Crazy, who just kind of just goes, what the fuck? It was really weird. I really liked it. Kotoge doing the forever clotheslines to Yo, stealing a book out of Yo's Chaos partner there. I thought that was really good. Toge hitting a beautiful PK for 2 to Yo at one point. Menso Ray hits a Cobra in with an Enziguri, and then Bomaye by Taguchi, and Yo hits a Falcon Arrow, but the pin gets broken up. Yo hits a direct drive to Inoue, and hits a super kick, and then the direct drive to Inoue, and gets the win. Again, a fun little opening match. Just nothing super super to it, but really fun little point. Afterwards, Go Shiozaki, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Suwama both all come out representing their company to hype up the crowd before the show. They were all actually half of one of the first all-together tag main event. Was it back 2011, I want to say? And they joke around, have some fun in the ring. And then a band called Funkist, they come out and perform a song. It was a fun little situation there. Then we move on to the pay-per-view proper. I gotta hit the button. Move on to the pay-per-view proper. We started with a 6-man tag team match. It's the team from Noah, the Tough, Masakitamiya, sorry. Yoshiaki Imura, they're known as the Tough, along with Daiki Inaba, taking on New Japan's Chaos team of Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi. You got one of the openweight 6-man champs here, and you have the tag team champs here. I'm going to this as like, there's no way the champs are losing in this match. Goto and Massa just trading hard shots to the forearm look absolutely phenomenal. I felt a bit of shame though with Ishii doing the war drums. I'm just like, come on, dude, you're better than doing the war drums. Um, I really like the gear of Inamura. He's got like a singlet, but the straps on his singlet look like suspenders, and I'm a big suspenders guy. I wear suspenders pretty much every day. I absolutely love it. I really liked the look on there. Ishii and Nimura having spots where they're running into each other, just slamming into each other. Really great spot. Sandwich splash by Masa and Inamura to Ishii, and the big senton by Masa, followed up by a splash by Inamura, but can only get two. Ishii with the big German suplex to Inamura, but Inamura comes back with the scoop slam, but Ishii back right up, hits a delayed vertical suplex, but then Inamura gets his own delayed vertical suplex afterwards, but he one ups it by doing a squat with it, so just really one upping. They're all kind of one upping each other there. So in the end, Bishamon gets the final flash into the Ushigoroshi and a sliding D from Ishii to Inaba. And then they hit the Shote to Inaba, and Goto gets the pinfall victory. Again, fun tag match. It really showed off everybody in this. I was really a big fan of Yoshiki Inamura coming out of this. I thought he did a really great job, played a really good power foil to Ishii. So again, my big takeaway there. So we move on to the next match of the evening, and this was a tag match that really I didn't expect a lot early on, but it's like, okay, good to see Sabre and Fujita do the thing, but Ridgeway, and especially the Galaxy's own hero, Sean Legacy, man. I thought Legacy was absolutely tremendous in this. Chris and Kevin on the commentary saying that they're thinking of calling Fujita a young lion plus now, because he's kind of more than just being a young lion lately. Sabre and Ridgeway. Ridgeway had answers for everything Sabre did in the technical department, because Sabre is again a technical ground-based wrestler, and Ridgeway had a really great counter to a lot of it. They did a really good rolling, great wrestling. Ridgeway holding his own and getting advantages over Sabre, and gets a sweep and almost cracks a PK in Sabre, but Sabre ducks the PK. Really good opening spot from these guys. Ridgeway does not get along with his partner because he slaps Sean Legacy in the face to tag him in. It was interesting little spot. Legacy really showing off against Fujita and like holds his own when Sabre comes in. He's got, like, we talk about drop kicks a lot here. I love the drop kick of Legacy. This guy was really the standout for me in this match. Legacy reverses out of a whip into the corner and hits a styling DDT. If you could know, or it's the moonsault into a DDT onto Sabre, known as the styling DDT, as AJ Styles used to hit it, and I think he still does. But yeah, Ridgeway is his wrestling there at the end. He's really going back and forth with Fujita. They're really like trading strikes, trading holds, getting the ankle off submission, really working over the ankle of Fujita. But in the end, Ridgeway gets the leg. Fujita fights up, but Ridgeway ends up twisting him and then twists the leg, reapplies the ankle lock. And Ridgeway, with Legacy holding Sabre on the floor, gets a submission victory over Kosei Fujita. Again, really great match. My biggest takeaway, like I'm always going to have love for Sabre and Fujita because, again, TMDK. I love these guys. But goddamn, Sean Legacy, and I guess he's still very new to wrestling. I guess he's still young in his career. What Kevin and Chris were saying, and I am absolutely a big fan, big fan of this guy. I am definitely all in on the Sean Legacy train. I'm gonna have to watch more Noah to see this guy because I think he's absolutely tremendous. We move on to a singles match: Yotsu Tatsu versus Shota Umino. Tatsu coming out looking fly as fuck because I love his gear. Looks far better than he did when he was in New Japan a while back, or even when he was in WWE. He is one half of the All Asian Tag Team Champions. Long ass entrance through the crowd for Shota Umino. Tatsu attacks him early on when he's throwing the pants to the outside. Umino hits an elbow when Tatsu's in the ropes, and then he goes for the final BTT, but just flops it terribly. Tatsu with a really nice tornado DDT out of the corner, but only gets two. There's a big forearm exchange at one point. They look really good. But Tatsu catches one of them, hits a complete shot into the Koji clutch, then turns the Koji clutch into a pin for 2. Umino ends up blocking a lung blower, hits the rising uppercut, hits the swinging neckbreaker, and then follows it up with the Death Rider, a really sloppy looking Death Rider for the win. I was really looking forward to this one at first because I thought like Umino's really good. I used to really like Tatsu back in the day, and I don't know, this came off a little bit meh to me. And not to say because it wasn't a bad match, but I think my least favorite match on the show. I was kind of expecting a little more to these two, but again, we got it was a good match. It was a fine match. Just nothing special happened, and I guess there was some sloppiness. Excuse me, really from Shota Umino is where I really thought it came from. So yeah, so when we move on, we're going to see Hokuto Omori from All Japan Pro Wrestling teaming up with Satoshi Kojima from New Japan, but he does work for Noah and All Japan, I think. Taking on Noah Pro Wrestling Noah's Axes, AXIZ Axes, Go Shiozaki and Katsuhiko Nakajima. These two, I'm a big fan of Axis. I thought these two were really, really good. Omori tossing Kojima out at the start. He's tossing his own partner out because Kojima wouldn't let him start out. Because Omori is from how comedy was explaining it, very young or still early on in his career. I thought this was a really fun tag match. Kojima getting the speed chops to Shiozaki in the corner, but then Shiozaki reverses it, fights back, and gets Kojima in the corner, and he does the speed chops in the corner. I thought really great little back and forth there. Shiozaki sitting on top of the turnbuckle, grabs Kojima, suplexes him up in the air, and then twists and suplexes him into the ring. I thought really great little spot. I've never really seen a guy do a suplex quite like that. I was like, oh, I really liked it. I thought a little bit different. Got to get a half superplex, but from sitting on top of the top rope. I thought it was really cool. Really nice bridging German suplex by Omori for 2, and then gets a dragon suplex bridge for 2 on Nakajima. Nakajima ends up PKing the arm of Omori and hits him with the Shiozaki chop out of the corner. And I'm terrible at writing. I've said this many times. And then him and his partner hit the super kick brainbuster combo, and Nakajima hits the PK, but Omori kicks out 2-1. I was like, that should have been it right there. That was easily the spot that should have been it. Nakajima hits a very hard forearm and hits the vertical spike brainbuster onto Omori, very similar to the vertical drop brainbuster of Tomohiro Ishii, and gets the win. Again, very good match. I always love seeing me some Bread Club. I always love seeing me some Satoshi Kojima, leader of Bread Club. Gotta love this guy. Mel named her dog after this man. He is absolutely that phenomenal. But I really enjoyed this match. I thought Omori and Kojima really kicked it up a notch and really did a really good job together. But dude, Shiozaki, Nakajima, I thought their flow was so good. I guess they were a tag team. They broke up, then they got back together, and yeah, like I guess I really like these two. I thought they did a really great job. But yeah, so from here we move on to a 6-man tag. It's Noah's Junta Miyawaki. It's hard for me to say Japanese names I don't know well. Naomichi Marufuji and Takashi Shigura taking on Strong Style, El Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, and Ren Narita. This was just people smashing the crap out of each other in this match. Quick start for Suzuki and Marufuji, just dodging each other's kick strikes. They're like each dodging the kicks. There was a really good sequence there. Narita gets in, taking it to Segura, hits a beautiful bridging that gets like the DDT position and does the suplex. Looked really good. Got a 2 with the bridge on that. Marufuji and Segura really beating down on Narita. But after long dominance, Narita ends up hitting an overhead belly to belly suplex to Segura and gets back in it. Suzuki gets in, cracks one of the hardest PKs I've ever seen to Segura. But when he goes for a second, he gets caught and he stands him up while holding it. And then they go into this striking exchange, which was just absolutely brutal. And then they start kicking each other in the head. And then they just boot each other in the face, dropping each other at the same time. Really great spot. Miyawaki hitting a beautiful corkscrew springboard plancha to Despy and Suzuki on the floor. Miyawaki trying the tornado DDT twice, but can't hit it. Then he finally hits it for the third attempt on Desperado. So it looked like intentionally messing. Like, it looked like Desperado stopped the first one, and then when Miyawaki went for it again, he slipped and couldn't get it. So he went for the third time and hit it beautifully. But I think it was supposed to be out. Despy stops the first one, and then he was the second, but he slipped on the second one. In the end, Suzuki and Narita are in. They attack Miyawaki, and Despy gets the spine buster, but the pin gets broken up. So Suzuki and Narita take, they take Marufuji and Segura to the floor, and they're brawling on the floor. And Desperado hits Pinche Loco to Miyawaki, and he gets the win. Strong Style getting another big win here, looking absolutely phenomenal as a team. This team is absolute perfection together, in my personal opinion. Yeah, it's so good. And again, I'll always love me some Murder Grandpa every time he gets in the ring. He's just absolutely phenomenal. And I really enjoyed this match. I really, really did. We move on. 10-man tag team match. It's All Japan Pro Wrestling's Voodoo Murders, the team of brothers Jun Saito and Rei Saito, teaming up with Dan Tamura, Hikaru Sato, and Ryuki Honda versus my boys, United Empires, Aaron Henare, Francesco Akira, Great Khan, Jeff Cobb, and TJP. Saito brothers are the current GLEAT G Infinity champions, which is the tag team titles. Voodoo Murders of Saito and Raito, they tossing their own partners out at points. Like, they're just complete dicks. They hate everybody. It was just funny to watch. June running Akira around on the floor, trying to work him over. Everybody's brawling on the floor. Just a big, because after Voodoo Murder tossed everybody out, it was just weird to see Voodoo Murders attacking their own partners. It wouldn't be the first time on the show. It wouldn't be the only time on this show that we would see it. The Saitos beat up on Akira, but Hanare and Cobb make the save, tossing them out. And then Honda and Sato attack, and then there's more fighting. Khan gets his cape. So this is where I went, come on, dude. Khan got like a calf slicer position and then like sticks his thumb in the butt of Sato. And I was just like, come on, Jesus Christ. It led to something even dumber later on. Honda gets a good spot where he's choking Akira on the ropes with a knee. But Tamura comes in, but Akira gets a roll. Finally fights back, gets a roll through into the double stomp. Tags in TJB. TJ gets a whip in the corner and does that. Love him doing the lace wash in the boot to Tamura. Really good. TJ misses the Mamba Splash, but Cobb comes in and they runs Tamura into the corner, and the whole team splashing Tamura in the corner from Empire. And TJ gets the Mamba Splash, but the pin gets broken up. So to do the sequence where Honda hits Cobb Lariat, Hanare hits the Rampage on Honda, Jun Saito hits the sleeper into a Uranagi on Hanare, Khan hits the Mongolian chops and a sheep killer to Jun Saito. Rei Saito gets a running cross to Khan. Cobb then tries a German, but then can't do it. But then he gets a pump handle suplex driver. Like, he cuts him in and brings him up and then just drops him on his head. Looked really good. And knocks him out of the ring. And Sato gets an overhead kick to the arm. Or Sato comes in, knocks Cobb out. And then Sato gets an overhead kick to the arm. Where I think Zack Sabre Jr. grabbing the arm and then doing the backflip into the kick to TJP. And Tamura gets a Samoan onto TJP. Samoan drop to CJP, but can only get two. Yeah, it was just a sequence of everybody hitting big moves. I really liked it. In the end, Tamura pulls Akira up to the top, but TJP gets Tamura on his shoulders, and they hit the leaning tower. Akira hits the fireball, and then TJP hits a plancha to the floor onto a couple of the people, and Akira gets the win. Absolutely fun. And that cuts to the floor. Sato and they're doing the New Japan where, like, Taguchi, when you show his ass, they're using the ropes. They use the barricade to block it, but Sato's doing something to the butt of Khan. I don't know. I don't want to know. It just creeped me the fuck out. Again, very good match. All these guys really good. And I'm looking at Voodoo Murders as just complete dickheads. That's simple as it. Because they're beating up on their own teammates in this match. It was just nothing but craziness. We move on. It's the team, it's the All Japan Pro Wrestling team of Suwama, Yuji Nagata, the current All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown champion, and Yuma Anzai, who's actually only been in the company for a little while. They've only been wrestling for a little while, but he's going to be taking on Yuji Nagata soon for the title. This kid is, I guess, having a rocket kind of Okada rise, going from coming in as a young guy and then just being shot up the card, taking on LIJ's Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito. Bushi, the mask he's wearing, it got the hair out, all with blonde hair sticking out. Look, it made him look very different, and I really did like that. The All Japan boys do attack before the bell. Anzai takes it to Naito early on, gets the suplex and a 2 count. I thought he looked really good in there working with Naito, especially going the fact that he's going to be facing off with Yuji Nagata for the big title soon. I thought was absolutely phenomenal. All of LIJ to attack Anzai. Shingo and Bushi get beautiful sandwich seated drop kick to Anzai. Naito does a combination. It goes up, comes over for the combination under Cameron, but lands on his feet, turns to Justice, does the salute to Blue Justice, and then hits the drop kick to Anzai in the corner. I thought it was really funny. Nagata is in. He gets the butterfly suplex to Shingo Takagi for 2. Really good spot there. It looked really smooth. Kevin says Nagata says he wants to wrestle till he's 70. Where this guy's in his 50s and what he's doing, I could believe it. Nagata with a beautiful exploder after catching the arm from a lariat from Shingo Takagi, which isn't easy to do. Shingo gets a pumping bomber to Suwama, and Bushi comes in, taking it to Suwama, and hits like a rocket like suicide dive after he sends Suwama to the floor. Shingo hits the lariat to stop Suwama's powerbomb of Bushi, and then Nagata hits a boot to Shingo, and they crash, and then they just they have a crash and they crash into Shingo, and they crash Shingo into Bushi, and they hit dual they smash them into each other, and then they hit dual backdrop drivers and Suwama gets 2 on Bushi. And then Anzai hits this as Naito comes in, just out of nowhere, just smashes his knee, just flying over, just crashes Naito with a knee, taking him out. And so Suwama picks up Bushi, hits the last right powerbomb, picks up the win. I really would love to see a match between Anzai and Naito. I think those two would absolutely be phenomenal. I think that could be an absolutely tremendous match. As Anzai really impressed me in this match, doing some great spots here. But again, really good match overall. Not the longest match on the show, but again, a good little match showcasing everybody and really getting over. And Anzai wouldn't shake Yuji Nagata's hand, really getting over the fact that they're going to be fighting each other coming soon. I really did like that. And again, just a really good match. It showcased everybody in the match. We move on. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is the guys versus the guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's the good-looking guys, Jake Lee, Tadasuke, and Yohei, taking on just 5 guys, Sanada, Takamichi Inoku, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. It's the guys versus the guys. I really like that little spot there. Coming out, Jake Lee is the GHC heavyweight champion, and Tadasuke and Yohei are the GHC tag team champions. I'm not sure if they're the tag team champions or the junior tag champions, but yeah, they had a set of tag titles from Noah. Chris and Kevin, always a hoot when they're making up lyrics to the Just 5 Guys theme song. Absolutely tremendous. Really fast start from Tadasuke and Kanemaru. Tadasuke and Yohei get an atomic drop, running boot combo to Kanemaru at one point. Taka in with the dirty tactics. He's not the stand-up man he usually is. He was poking the eye and working the knuckles into the eye and everything. And the ref just goes, "Hey, stop that. Don't do that. Stop that." Again, refs in Japan are just ineffective as heck. Like, come on, guys. Beautiful drop kick by Yohei where he goes up, hits the drop kick. It's one of those ones where, like, if you remember Paul London would hit the drop kick and he would like essentially like land moon, like it would go moonsault style. That's what Yohei's drop kick looks like. It's absolutely tremendous. When Jake Lee and Sonata got in the ring, the crowd was just chanting for both these guys, just going, they're fighting. Jake tries to get a Paradise Lock onto Sonata, but can't. And Sonata gets the drop kick after he leapfrogs and hits up and sends Jake to the floor and hits a plancha to the floor. You're back in the ring, and Jake actually gets Sonata down, gets a Paradise Lock on him, and then Yohei and Tetsuke hit the dual drop kicks to unlock it. Sonata getting the springboard drop kick, but ends up going to the top, misses the moonsault, and him and Jake get into this great striking battle. And Sonata ends up reversing a suplex and then puts him up on the ropes, gets the magic screw, but only get two. Taka gets in there, gets to just tap out onto Jake Lee, but the submission gets broken up. Taka tries to pick Jake Lee up, and Jake Lee is a big boy. The Kyoto Suji size, he's big boy, but Jake won't let him, and he hits the running knee to the gut for two. Jake gets Taka into the corner and hits the running boot into the corner, and then pins Taka. Jake Lee gets the win for his team. Absolutely fun. I love me some Jake Lee. I've been talking about this guy. I was saying last year when we were talking about at the end of the G1, saying who we'd like to see in the G1. I was saying one of my guys would be Jake Lee because I think this guy is absolutely tremendous. If you get a chance, watch some Pro Wrestling Noah for this guy. I watched some of the stuff he did in All Japan. He was absolutely tremendous, and now he's the champion in Pro Wrestling Noah where he should be because, again, this guy needs to be pushed to the top. He's so good. Sonata and Jake Lee really staring each other down at the end. And then Jake does like a very cocky bow to Sonata. It was really good. I really liked that. Really fun match. Really showcased both teams well and really got you wanting Sonata and Jake Lee at some sort of show down the road because I want to see that. I think those two could be absolutely tremendous in there together. We move on to this semi-main event of the evening. It is now, these last two matches are complete mixes. So you have, from Pro Wrestling Noah, you have Amasuka teaming up with, from All Japan Pro Wrestling, Atsuki Aoyagi, and then teaming up with, from New Japan, Hiromu Takahashi. And then on the other side, you have, excuse me for a second. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You have New Japan's Master Wada teaming up with Pro Wrestling Noah's Hayata and All Japan Pro Wrestling Rising Hayato. I gotta say this about Rising Hayato. He is a way cooler version of Sho. Simple. I thought he was absolutely dope in his way. I think Sho wants to be, but he cannot seem to be. Like, I thought the gear design on Aoyagi was absolutely tremendous. All the blue and the gold and the silver, the way it mixed together. The entrance gear for Hayata was absolutely tremendous. It looked really good. The mask he was wearing, because it's like a mask on, but it was like cut out. You could see his eye in this part, but the rest of the mask was covering the face. I thought absolutely cool, really cool. Hayato and Hiromu at one point are in the ring together, and they have this chop over. They're just chopping back and forth with each other. Hayato gets a beautiful head scissors to Hiromu, but stops on the dive. Like, he goes like running for the dive. He sends Hiromu to the floor, but then like just gets onto the second rope and then just backflips into the ring and sits down. Very like, I'm not going to dive on you. Eat my butt. So Hiromu gets back in, takes it to Hayato, and drop kicks him out, and then goes to do the dive, but stops, and then goes and sits down. But Hayato's team comes in and beats up on Hiromu. I thought really funny little spot there. I got a little bit of gas in it. I'm sorry, guys. Amasuka with a beautiful springboard Rana off the ropes. Really, really good. Amasuka hitting with a tornillo off the top to Hayata for two. Again, this is just junior heavyweight madness. Everybody's flying around, trading kicks. They're trading kicks to the head, and Wado, and I think it was I can't remember if it was the think it was Aogi. They're trading kicks to the head, and then Aogi hits a corkscrew, like the Trouble in Paradise tornado kick, style kick, and then Wado comes back with one of his own that looked great. Aogaki's movement in the ring is so smooth. He looks great. I think when he's flipping around and moving, he's so good. I thought he was absolutely tremendous. Hayato hits a inverted dude buster to Aoyagi, but he only gets 2 at one point. There's just a sick suit. Like Hayata Amasuka goes flying through the ropes onto Hayata, like with a suicide dive, but like as he's through the ropes, he flips with it and it just crashes into him. It looked like, oh my god, somebody like he's gonna kill himself with that dive at some point. It was that crazy. In the end, Aoyagi hits a Enzuigiri to Hayato on the top and gets the Spanish fly. Or he's seated on the top, gets this, and then climbs up, hits the Spanish fly for 2. Aoyagi then climbs to the top, hits a 450 splash, and pins Hayato and gets the win. Pins Rising Hayato and gets the win. And then after the match, all 3 champions are standing there holding their belts up at like kind of like staring at each other. That really good spot. I really good match. But dude, this is like the main event was really, really good. There's a couple other matches that I really, really loved, but I thought this was easily matched. And the way everybody was moving in there, the way everybody was attacking each other, I thought everybody just flowed together so well. Absolutely tremendous match. Like Aoyagi is absolute fire. And then you have Rising Hayato, who I think is absolutely tremendous in his look and his style, the way he has like that no fucks given attitude. I really, really like it. Absolutely tremendous match from all these guys. This is easily match of the night for me. Highlight of the entire time. So yeah, really great thing. And I would love to see like some of the match coming out. Like I would love to see Wado and Aoyagi. I think those two could tear it up in a singles match. Rising Hayato taking on Hiromu Takahashi would be absolutely tremendous. Hayata in there with any of these guys with like, there's so many things I would love to see from coming out of this, and I hope we get so much more of these guys these companies working together, because this was absolutely tremendous. But we're going to move on to the main event of the evening. It is New Japan's Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up with Noah's Kaito Kiyomiya. If you don't know who Kaito Kiyomiya by this point, I don't know who you are, because him and Okada have been having a war this year. Also teaming up with All Japan Pro Wrestling's Kento Miyahara, taking on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kazuchika Okada, Pro Wrestling Noah's Keno, and All Japan Pro Wrestling's Yuma Aoyagi. Even though Keno is actually right now the All Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, that he's holding that with Manabu Soya, and he's also the Dragon Gate Open the Twin Gate champion that he holds with Shuji Kondo. But he ends up repping Noah here. His titles from 2 other promotions. He's repping for Noah here. I have to say this, Kiyomiya is just a younger, more handsome version of Okada. Simple as that. Because if you look at the 2 faces there, like, yeah, I think Kiyomiya, and again, I think it's a lot of Okada's hates. Like, this kid is coming to take over for me, and I absolutely love the hate. I really, really do. Kiyomiya just staring out Okada while he's doing his entrance, just his eyes driven, and then they get the gear off, and he's still staring Okada down, and then Keno comes in and shoves Kiyomiya back, screaming that he wants to fight Tanahashi, and that's who starts the matches. Those two. Then after they're doing lockups, and Tanahashi's got the headlock, Keno pulls the hair of Tanahashi, but then Tanahashi pulls the hair of Keno. I thought funny little shit. I really love that. Funny little back and forth there. Miyahara tags in, and Okada's like, okay, I'll come in and face you, because it seems like he's really trying to avoid Kiyomiya of everybody, but he's like, okay, and they do this like slow tease of locking up, they get the fingers, and then they circle each other for a bit, really work in the crowd. I thought really great. And the crowd's really chanting at this point. Okada uses a cheap shot to break off, because Miyahara put him into the ropes and then just pulled back and didn't hit him, and backed up. And then Okada just gets him in the rope, and he's backing up. He slaps him, doing the cheap spot. So Okada's going like, is this heelness without being a heel completely. I like seeing it in a way, but it's very much like he's got that. But when he acts a certain way with that, when he has that smile or that I don't give a fuck, makes me think John Cena. But he's doing some things well. I know I've said it in that he's doing some things well, but he's got very much a John Cena ish to him right now that I still can't not see, and I need to see him get put in his place by a guy like Kiyomiya or Narita or Umino so that he stops doing the John Cena ish of it all. I would really like to see that get taken away from him, but it's not going to right now. Team Kiyomiya goes for the triple cross kick, but Aoyagi so. Oh, and Aoyagi in this match is actually the brother. He's Aoyagi. He's the brother of Atsuki Aoyagi, who was in the match before, and the announcers were talking about this, and his parents must have been going crazy with these two kids. I could just imagine, man. Aoyagi stops them from he grabs the ropes to stop himself coming back when they go for the take. Then goes to take out when they go to do the triple drop kick. He ends up taking out all three members, and Kiyomiya ends up on the floor, and he goes after Okada, and then Okada fights back again, and Okada tosses him because he tosses Okada into the barricade at one point and comes back in and wrestles. Then he ends up back out on the floor, and Okada runs him into the chairs. Like these two, their hatred is just building because I cannot wait for these two to actually face off in a singles match because I think these two are going to just kill each other the next time they do when they rematch. I think it'll be just insane. This whole match was absolutely tremendous. Tanahashi and Keno were your two big guys facing off a lot in this match. And then Tanahashi, the end of this match was Tanahashi and Okada facing off with each other, the tag team partners, the trios partners facing off with each other, really fighting back and forth. Okada gets the knees up when Tanahashi goes for the high fly flow, and Tana, you can see him just holding his rib, just in miserable pain. Tana and Okada trading shots back and forth. Okada hits a landslide, but then tries the Rainmaker, but Kiyomiya comes in and takes him out, and everyone just beating up on each other. And then Okada's team triple team Tanahashi, and Okada with the Death Valley driver. Kano hits the PK, and Aoyagi comes off the top with the elbow, but the pin by Okada does get broken up. Tanahashi slides out of the Cobra Flosion, but gets hit with a drop kick, hits with the Cobra Flosion, and Okada follows it up with the Rainmaker and pins Tanahashi for the win. And Aoyagi on the floor, just it was just really funny to see that on the floor. I'll say this: Okada really is one of the biggest jerks in wrestling in the way he's acting, and I thought he did a much better job on this show to not have the John Cena issue of it all. Like he seems like he can't, he's brushing Kiyomiya off, but in a way that it doesn't seem like, oh, I'm better than you. It's just like I don't want to fuck with you, is what the feel I get with these two versus with Umino and Narita. It was just like, oh, I'm better than you. Go away. You're insignificant to me. And I really like the fact that it feels different with Kiyomiya. It really does. In the end, I don't want to hit that. The three they're posing in the ring after the confetti goes off. Everybody from the show comes out. Okada makes a speech. He thanks all the fans for coming out. Talks about togetherness and bringing all the energy of professional wrestling. Bring all the energy back to professional wrestling. And if you have the energy, you can do anything. Okada actually invites the family members, just the grandsons of Inoki, into the ring. And then Okada has everybody in the building stand up and then do the Inoki chant to send everybody home. Again, absolutely tremendous night. New Japan are the overwhelming winners. And in the mixed tag matches, I just gave the win to whatever company, whoever the pin. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches for New Japan, 2 matches for Noah, and 3 matches for All Japan. Yeah, again, still New Japan heavy, but again, in the main event, All Japan and Noah still won, while All Japan and Noah still lost, and New Japan lost. And again, in those mixed matches, it's hard to call, but I just kind of called it by whoever won the match. That company got a win. But yeah, again, I thought this show was absolutely tremendous. I highly recommend it to any of you out there. Check this show out. It is very, 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 very good. But before we go, I'm going to use some shout outs to our friends. Before we go to that, you can find myself on Twitter, Mastodon, Hive at the Canada Guy, Instagram at that Canada Dude. You can find my co-host Melball on Twitter at Collins Melball, and on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Mastodon at Melball Collins. You can find us both on the Facebook page at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and you can also find us by contacting us down below in the comments at youtube.com/at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. We're here on the channel, or if you're on Backbreaker video, comment down below because Michael, I have access to see the comments for there too. I would love to hear from you on both any of the channels. Really, really do. And speaking of Backbreaker video, I want to thank my boy Mike the Ref for all the great support he has given us, all the great content. If you might be watching us on there, if you are, please check out Andre Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you aren't watching us, if you are watching us on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, please go over to Backbreaker video again. Backbreaker video where Mike simulcasts all their stuff about a week and a half later. Really appreciate all the stuff you do for us, my boy. Please check it out at youtube.com/@Backbreaker video. He has lots of live content every Wednesday. He does a Backbreaker video, or a AEW watch along, and then all throughout the rest of the week has his Backbreaker gaming stuff going on at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef, and his Backbreaker fight series stuff coming out now. It's really rebranding for all the fighting games that he's going to be doing now. You can check all the replays of all his Twitch stuff, all his gaming Twitch stuff at youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming. Please check that out. There's stuff from him, stuff from PJC, stuff from Rick Jules, all great content over there. Please check those out. They are absolutely phenomenal. I want to get some gaming stuff in, but again, my time is very small because I got my shoot job on top of watching a lot of Japanese wrestling that I talked to all of you about. So maybe eventually I'll get into doing some gaming stuff, but it'll be very casual if I do. I want to give a shout out to our friend, the beautiful Asher Pizarro. All the great content she has coming out at youtube.com/@AsherPizarro, Ladies Wrestling Showcase, Asher Ass, lots of great content. You can find my friend, my girl Melball on the Ladies Wrestling Showcase there over at Asher Pizarro's YouTube channel. And before we go, I want to talk about our boys, our friends, our boys and girls over at OLE Podcast, our local establishment. Lots of great content over there. You can find myself. We're not sure if we're going to be able to get the Flash review out there because just life and time is busy. For Father's Day weekend, my partner in crime, OLED, is not going to be able to do it, and I'm not looking like I'm going to be able to do it either, even though I am seeing that movie on Friday. But you can find lots of great content over there, and we are going to be having our Marvel Talk series coming out soon, starting this upcoming week with the debut of Secret Invasion. We were going to be reviewing all of those shows, so please check those out. We are going to be talking. Those will be exclusively on the YouTube page at youtube.com/OurLocalEstablishment. Check us out over there. All the other great content there. You got OLED and Astra doing their NXT review show. You got Bobby and Papa Smokes there every Thursday. A lot of great content coming out from OLE. I highly recommend Carl Parafal and all his stuff coming out over there. Highly recommend everything coming out of the OLE room. And then, so we are going to be getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you also very, very much for tuning in. So please subscribe to the video, and comment down below because we want to hear from you. So everybody, thank you so very, very much. And you guys have a great night.